Hey guys, today I'd like to discuss something I am still seeing tons of questions about, and that's in regards to ascending and reforging. In this video, I will attempt to go over and answer every possible question you guys could have had about ascending and reforging. Feel free to share this video with your friends who have questions as well, just to kind of limit the amount of questions that we're getting in the comments. Thankfully, my mouth is almost fully healed too, so sorry about being away for a few days. I just need to let that heal. It is very painful to talk, and talking just aggravated it even more. I do apologize if I mispronounce anything, my tongue is getting in the way of certain words. Also, before we start, I was recently on IGN's Destiny podcast called Fireteam Chat, and for everyone who still hasn't seen my face and wants to know what I look like, I'll go ahead and link that podcast in the description for you guys to watch. We talked about all the best gear for trials and a lot more. And one more quick note, just a few hours ago, the creative director at Bungie tweeted out a picture of concept art for the new Exotic Hunter helm. Now obviously we've seen this helm before, but he said that it was called the Celestial Nighthawk, which is a new name. So this is important because now we know some of the new exotic names may change, and possibly some of the perks as well. Unfortunately, we don't know yet of any of the new changes to them because the database hasn't been updated with that information, but we know for sure now at least one of the old exotic names have been changed. It's also interesting to note that sometimes the helmet glows around the eyes. I'm really not sure why. Could it just be random, or let me know what your thoughts are about it. Okay, so first off, let's start with ascending. Ascending is the process of allowing your weapons or armor to reach its maximum capacity in terms of attack or light level. You'll notice on the description, it says that it will allow for it to reach its maximum in Year 1. Year 1 refers to now until Comet. It's just a way of saying that when Comet rolls around, there will be a higher attack and light value. Currently, the max attack is 365 and the max light is 42. If you've got 4 pieces of armor with 42 light each for a total of 168, you'll be level 34. Tower vendor sets have 36 light until you ascend them, so if you buy 4 pieces of tower armor and equip it, you'll be level 32 until you ascend it to 42. So whenever you're wearing legendary armor from the tower, Prison of Elders, Trials, or Iron Banner, Vault of Glass, or anywhere else, you'll be able to reach level 34 as long as it's fully ascended. You don't need to buy House of Wolves to reach level 34 either. It may take longer, but anyone can reach level 34. To ascend a legendary, you'll need Etheric Light, and to ascend an exotic, you'll need an Exotic Shard. Etheric Light will drop from Nightfalls, Prison of Elders, Trials of Osiris, and it'll also be purchasable from Lord Saladin once you reach rank 3. And Exotic Shards are gained the same way that they've always been from Xur and dismantling other exotics. Alright, starting with the most frequently asked question I see, can I ascend insert name here, legendary or exotic? And the answer is yes. You can ascend Tower Vanguard armor, Iron Banner weapons, the Vex Mythoclast, literally any legendary or exotic. The only gear that ascending doesn't apply to is rare items or items with an even lesser quality, but new and old legendary and exotics are all fair game. Also, some legendary items do not need to be ascended because they already start at the max attack or light level. For example, we've seen that the Prison of Elder gear that's sold already has the maximum 42 light and 365 attack, so there's no need to ascend it. Same thing goes with the in-game Trials gear that's on sale. It's sold with the max stats already in place, so you don't need to even worry about ascending that. But as far as everything else, and certainly all of the legendary and exotics that drop out in the wild, you will be able to ascend them. The next question I see a lot is in regards to armor and how ascending affects the stats. Right now, you can currently just take a piece of exotic armor to Xur to try and get better rolls, but as far as I know, Xur isn't going to offer this once House of Wolves is released. So to increase the rolls on your exotic or legendary armor, you ascend it, and that's it. Ascending a piece of armor will increase its attributes not by an insane amount, but by about 5 to 15 points from what I've seen so far. Now Xur could possibly still offer a process to increase the rolls of exotic armor even more, but we'll just need to wait to see about that. Next, I want to cover ascending weapons that were obtained before House of Wolves. The new expansion weapons don't need to worry about what I'm about to explain, so it's just in regards to the items you got before the DLC has released. These nodes do not disappear from your old gear once the expansion is released. You'll actually need to unlock and purchase them to get to the max. For example, in your inventory right now, let's say you have a Thunderlord. Your Thunderlord isn't at 331 attack yet because you don't have the materials or experience on it yet to upgrade it all the way. Let's say you don't feel like upgrading it at all until House of Wolves. So fast forward, it's now May 19th and House of Wolves is actually out. You say to yourself, okay, I finally want to get my Thunderlord to max attack. At this point, you can do two things, but regardless of what you do, the end result is the same. You can either upgrade it to 331 attack like normal with the upgrade nodes, and then ascend it to reach 365, or you ascend it the very first thing, and then continue to unlock and purchase the upgrade nodes to reach 365. So no matter what you do, you still need to ascend it, but you won't reach 365 until you fill out all those upgrade nodes. To put it simply, your old gear still needs to be upgraded normally, but you can ascend it at any time. The same process applies to old armor. You can ascend it immediately, but you still need to fill out the defense nodes to take full advantage of it. And of course, if your old legendary or exotic weapon is already maxed out, ascending will up it to 365 and you're good to go. As you're seeing now, all of my old gear is already upgraded, so ascending it just brings it to the new max. But if I didn't have all those upgrade nodes purchased, ascending would just open up the path, but not actually get me there until I purchase those nodes. I'll give another example with Vaulted Glass armor. Let's say it's May 19th and you're brand new to Destiny, and you just ran the Vaulted Glass and got a new helm. That helm will have an Ascend perk on it like all other legendary armor. As long as you have Etheric Light and a few materials, you can immediately ascend that helm, and you can ascend it the second you get it. But to actually reach level 42 Light and the max defense with it, you'll need to unlock and purchase all the other defense nodes. Like I mentioned earlier though, the new gear doesn't have these extra nodes, so it's a much simpler process going forward. To recap, you can ascend any legendary or exotic. You don't need to wait until it's maxed out to ascend it. Old gear still needs to have the upgrade nodes filled in to take advantage of Ascension, and ascending armor will increase its stats. Finally, let's go over everything you need to know about reforging. If you've experienced Iron Banner reforging, it'll be extremely similar at the gunsmith. You'll still need motes of light, and you can reforge as many times as you want, assuming you have the necessary materials. You can reforge any legendary tower weapon that's sold once the expansion is released. You don't actually need the expansion to take advantage of this either. This means any House of Wolves, Vanguard, Crucible, or faction legendary weapon, but only weapons, not armor. And you will not be able to reforge any raid weapons, exotics, or any weapon that isn't sold at the vendors I just mentioned. Also, Vanilla Destiny and Dark Below weapons cannot be reforged, except the Iron Banner weapons, but you need to do this at Lord Saladin. You'll be able to reforge your new vendor weapons with a chance at the new perks too, which is pretty cool. A few days ago we published a video showing off all the new weapon perks that we currently know about, so check out that if you haven't seen it yet. When you reforge a weapon, all of its perks are changed and your progression is reset, so you will need to level it up again and unlock those perks. So that's all there is to it. To recap, you can't reforge pre-House of Wolves weapons, you can only do that with the legendary weapons that are sold in the tower. And that about covers everything. I hope this helps some of you all out, and like I said, share this video with your friends if you're still a little fuzzy on how all of it works. For more weapons and gear talk, the link to the IGN podcast is in the description, and we recently recorded our Planet Destiny podcast as well. Thanks so much for watching and for the continued support. I'll see you guys soon. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.